Y'all, I want to discuss the Assistant to the Villain TV show. It's so exciting. It's actually happening. For sure have a TV show coming for us. However, there's no updates, like absolutely nothing so far. We don't know who's casted. We don't even know what form the TV show is going to be in. And that's what I kind of wanted to talk about because to me, unless they make it so close to the style and feel of Ella Enchanted, because to me, Assistant to the Villain and Ella Enchanted had very similar vibes, more fairy tale than fantasy. Even though I think a lot of people are sort of grouping this in with romantasy, which I understand why. It just seems, yeah, like it's kind of its own little thing, probably because it's funny, which I love. And it got sold to Legendary, which I didn't make the connection, but then I saw some of the stuff that they made and I was like, oh yeah, I've seen stuff like this. However, I took hope in seeing this page of like the stuff that they've made because of things like this. Because I would love to see this as an animated series. And this type of art style, I feel like would translate so well to the story. And because like they have stuff like this, and there was one other one. Yeah, up here. So more of like an illustrative style, which I think would work so well with like the fun lighthearted nature of this story. I don't know if I really want to see necessarily live action, if that makes sense. Especially things like Kingsley and the different magic and the Gouvray, give rays, however you say that, the dragons. I think it would be very, very difficult to pull that off, especially I don't know what their budget is like, you know? Like, do they have Game of Thrones budget or, you know, do they not? And in that case, I would so love to see something animated. Because looking at this is just, it's the cutest, you guys. The fan art has been so adorable. And I know people have made this. I feel like this is looking almost like how they tried to take the author, because I do know that the author sort of looks like Evie Sage, but it's just little things. These are so cute, and I would love to see an animated version of this. I absolutely love this. You can't see it because it's so freaking blurry, but overall, like, look at how cute. The absolute disgust on his face is cracking me up. Even more, like, in my opinion, this sort of, where is it? This sort of flat look, does that make sense? Where it's more 2D than like something like Tangled. You know how that looks almost 3D. More of this hand-drawn style. I think it would be just so, so cute. This is like the official stuff that came with, I think, like a special version, or yeah, Barnes & Noble edition of the book, or I think they might have sold this separately. So these are technically official illustrations. I don't know if they'll keep with this style. This seems a little bit simple for a TV show. But yeah, I did see these like generated versions of, I just can't imagine, I don't know, like an actual live version of the two of them now that I have all these more like animated ideas in my brain. Like, look how cool that is. This would be so much more fun than a live action show, in my opinion. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And if you're going to be watching, I'm going to be watching the TV show, but I know that some people, this wasn't necessarily their cup of tea because it is a very specific sense of humor. So if you've read it and you did or didn't like it, let me know. But yeah, so excited. And if you look at the cover, if we can see the cover, see how this looks? I feel like this also lends itself well to animation. So I'm interested to see how they do that. I also just finished filming something similar to this style for discussing the Hunger Games new movie and the set and stuff like that. One thing that I really want to do, and I'm trying to work on, is filming sort of like this without a ton of cuts, because I want to make more videos and I want to talk more about book news and stuff like that, but I don't have the time to edit more videos than I am editing right now. And I feel like if I can develop this skill of talking to you without having to take breaks to think about what I'm going to say next and stuff like that, like I normally do when I'm filming, then we could talk about some more stuff. So yeah, thank you so much if you got to this point and for sticking with me, because I know that this is definitely, public speaking is something I got to work on, you know? So there's probably a few cuts in this video, but I'm hoping that they will get less and less to a point that I can maybe just do this in one shot and upload it, and we can talk about all the stuff so that we can keep up with things as they come out, because I feel like I'm behind on Hunger Games news because I haven't had time to film, and that makes me sad because I love talking about stuff like that with y'all. So Please let me know your thoughts on this. I'll link the Hunger Games mini podcast version of it in the description if you want to go look at that, because that's also really exciting. But if you want to keep up with bookish news, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you here. Goodbye.